Hi, everyone. Welcome to this month's chapter webinar with our Supplier Spotlight of Ciao Italy tours. We are joined by Guido and Bruce Walters, which you all should be well acquainted with at this point. Guido's going to take us through an introduction of a DMC in Italy, and we will have questions at the end, and also we'll include the contact information. If you're watching the recording, the YouTube description has that details. But otherwise, Guido, take it away.
Thank you very much, Scott. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Ciao Italy Tours presentation. Today, I will tell you a little bit about our company and about the tours that we offer, just some samples, and I'll tell you a little about Italy, a little bit about Italy. Okay, so here we go. So we start with my computer not responding. Okay. Sorry about this, a little glitch.
It's always something with the computers.
Always something. My computer is not moving to the next slide. I apologize.
Hi, everybody. While Guido works on his PowerPoint, I just want to say hello. It's Bruce Waters. I'm your BDM, Ciao Italy BDM with here in the Tampa Bay area. I represent Florida. But, I know a lot of you guys this is the Ask to Central Florida chapter. So I know I've seen you, most of you guys, many times at your trade shows or at my lunch and learns or at sales calls. So one way or another, it's great to see everybody joining us. And, you know how to reach out to me, of course, if you need any assistance, bwaters@tampabay.rr.com. So don't hesitate to do that. But today is a special day. I've got, as you can see, brought aboard my special guest speaker, Guido Dugo. He's the owner of Ciao Italy. He's Italian, so of course you're gonna love his wonderful Italian accent and learn all about the company from the pro. Nobody knows more than about Italy than he does. Lots of experience, lots of time in the industry, and I will say he's developed a magnificent company. Then you'll see all the features that they offer as he kind of goes through a presentation. So sit back and enjoy. And Guido, okay, now hopefully that's up, and it's all yours.
That's it. Thank you very much, Bruce. Okay, so finally, I was able to make it to the next slide. And here you have a little bit of an overview of everything that we do. So we are a DMC and a tour operator, and we provide all type of travel arrangements in Italy. So as you see, we can do private transfers, trains, ferries, car rentals, of course, customized multi-day itineraries, and this is mostly what we do. And then we can just offer you daily tours, activities, private, shared, if you just need the museums and events, and of course, hotels and villas. And for us, there is never a minimum required to book. You can just simply book a train ticket or the most complicated 30 days itinerary, and we will be happy to work with you in any case, anything that you need. Okay, so here I have some samples of our most popular itineraries. So these are customized, what we call independent tours, but they are basically customized itineraries, and they are the most commonly requested. They are available on the website, and they are fully customizable. Okay, so here, for example, with the Benvenuti in Italia, this is 12 days, 11 nights. So as you can see, you have 2 nights in Venice, 3 nights in Florence, then we go to Sorrento, 3 nights in Rome, and we move from city to city by train. And so train is always the best way to travel in Italy. We usually use a business class train with assigned tickets, and we always provide private transfers at the train stations, and from the hotel to the train station. So in this case, let's say we start with Venice. So when you arrive in Venice, you have assistant that will wait for you at the airport. The assistant will walk with you in the airport to the airport pier where there is a private water taxi waiting for you. And with that, you also have luggage porterage. Once once you board the water taxi with the assistant, the water taxi will take you right by the hotel. Many hotels in Venice have a dock, a door right on the water. So all you need to do is just walk from the boat right inside the hotel, or the hotel might not be on the water, or they don't have a dock. So the assistant will walk with you until they check in, because Venice can be a little bit confusing, overwhelming. So it's always a good idea to have somebody there, especially when you first arrive in Italy, somebody there to help you out until you get to the hotel. Then the following day, we include a tour. We have a walking tour of Venice, we have a gondola ride, and then we go to Florence. Then from the hotel, the assistant will come with the private water taxi. They will take you and the luggage on the boat. Then you go on the boat to the train station. You arrive at the train station, you get on your train, you arrive in Florence, and in Florence, now you have the driver, right? So the driver will wait for you at the established meeting point with the name sign, and will drive you, I mean, I say you, your clients, to the hotel. And then in Florence, here in this particular itinerary, we include a walking tour and with the Accademia Gallery. But you have sometimes, because you are staying 3 nights in Florence, so there are optionally tours, many tours, and you and your clients can select what to add to this itinerary. Then from Florence, we go to Sorrento, right? So from Sorrento, we arrive in Sorrento. Actually, the train will take you from Florence to Naples. Then you arrive in Naples, and we have a driver waiting for you to take you to Sorrento. And we select Sorrento as a location on the Amalfi Coast because it is the location that has most hotels, more hotel options. They are not very expensive, and it is a good base, Sorrento, to explore the Amalfi Coast, because you can see the Amalfi Coast, you can go to Capri, you can go to Pompeii, to Naples, you can go to Ischia. So there are a lot of things you can do in Sorrento. Then from Sorrento, after your stay in Sorrento, transfer back to Naples and train to Rome. In Rome, the driver will meet you, take you to the hotel, and now in Rome we have the Vatican tour and the Colosseum tour, and we can add other optional tours. There are so many options in Rome. Here we list some of the hotels that we use, our, let's say, default hotels, but of course hotels are always subject to availability, so they can be replaced with similar, but we always use 4 or 5-star hotels. Here you see the map, and this is basically the itinerary of the tour that I described. So we start in Venice, we go to Florence, you can do a little bit of Tuscany, and then down to Naples and Sorrento, which is right here, and back to Rome. And from Rome, you fly back to the US. Now, the next tour is a shorter version of this Benvenuti in Italia, and the slides, again, they got stuck. I don't know what's going on today. Oh, come on. Sorry. I don't know. This is an unusual situation. I don't know what is happening to my computer. This is not a good situation. So forgive me that
It's
I'm
because it's so
wasting your
cold.
time. Huh?
It's because it's so cold.
It's a call. I don't know. I'm pressing all the possible buttons on this computer, the mouse. Oh, it's not going anywhere.
Real
Madonna
quick,
mia.
while Guido works on that, one thing to keep important, I think, important from from your perspective as an agent, what you're seeing here is that Ciao is a DMC, a destination management company, and that's really a big difference from the kind of your classic tour operator, because a tour operator just essentially what they're doing, Globus, Trafalgar, Colette, so forth, what they're generally doing is they are selling prepackaged bus tours, right? They prefer they call the motor coach nowadays, but it's a bus tour, right? 20, 30, 40 people on a bus, prepackaged tours. Here's a bunch of dates. Here's the price for those trips. Pick a date and go with us. So that's really a big difference between what a tour operator does and what we do at DMC at Ciao Italy. Because as a DMC, we're the other side of that coin, meaning that instead of us offering all these prepackaged tours, right? Which are set itineraries, can't change them, can't tweak them. It is what it is. Uh, Instead of that, what we do, everything we do is custom. So what Guido's showing you, like that slide that he just showed you, what that really was a sample of what an itinerary could look like. It doesn't have to look exactly like that. It can be less short,
Sorry,
longer,
Bruce,
more.
sorry if I interrupt you, but while you please continue, I'm going to log off and come back in. I
Please do.
apologize. I don't
I
see
can
what else
explain this
I
while
can
you're
do.
doing that. So that's why it's important to keep in mind that, when you saw that slide was a sample itinerary of what a tour could look like. And we're really, when you go through the brochure, the website with us, travelitours.com, what you actually see is a lot of ideas of what trips look like. You see that one, for example. That's an idea of what a trip looked like, meaning that, we could build a tour like this. We could build something that's similar. We could change it. We could tweak it. We could fix it because what we're doing is we're building custom tours because at the end of the day, what we want to do is build a tour that's specifically for your clients. Because what we've seen from our side, especially since the pandemic, a big shift in how your clients transfer what they're asking for nowadays is a custom tour, meaning they're coming to you and saying, "Hey, Scott, we want to send folks to, we got two clients and they want to go to Italy in May, and they want it to be their trip, right? They want to do wine tastings every night. They want to do, 3 nights of cooking classes. They want to have a villa with a chef. They want to take a boat ride along the Amalfi Coast. We want it to be their trip. Whereas as a prepackaged tour, like with our competition, your clients do not have that opportunity. It's prepackaged, it's preset. So there's just a big difference. Doesn't mean that one is better than the other. It just means they're very different. So for your clients that want something different, unique, custom, specialized to them, that's where we step in. So as he shows you, it looks like he's got it back up and running. So as he shows you
Yes,
more ideas, they're ideas. They're not set in stone, just ideas of what we can do. So there we go. Hopefully that helped a
that's
little bit
correct.
while Guido kind of got the program up and running again. Guido, it's all yours again.
Thank you very much, Bruce. Okay, looks like it's no, Jesus Christ. Oh, Madonna. Okay. All right, so going back to what I was saying, the tour that I showed you before was a longer version of this one. It included Sorrento. Then we have this option, which is only 9 days and 8 nights, which is exactly the same, but only Venice, Florence, and Rome. So this is available. These are the two, depending on how many days your clients have. So if they have only 9, 10 days, I would recommend these three locations. If they have more, you can also add Sorrento. Okay, so this to show you, this will be just Venice, Florence, and then departing out of Rome. Okay, and then another very popular tour that we have, again customizable, but the base is what I'm showing you now. It's Rome and the Amalfi Coast. So now you have 4 days in Rome and 4 days in Sorrento. Okay, so in Rome, you arrive, we have a transfer, we will include here Vatican, Colosseum, but you have 4 nights, so you definitely can add the golf cart tour, you can add a cooking class, you can add a food tasting tour, maybe a tour outside of Rome. So there are many, many options. And then you go to Sorrento via Naples. And here we are already including a private tour to Pompeii, a full day Amalfi drive. We also, where you see the Amalfi Coast, we also have an excursion to Capri. And you still have, I think, some free time. No, I think for sure you have some free time, and then you can add maybe even in Sorrento a cooking class, a pizza class. If you want to learn how to make the real Napolitan pizza, this is the place to do that. Okay, so Rome and the Amalfi Coast. And remember, I touched on this before, the difference between Sorrento and Positano on the Amalfi Coast. Again, Sorrento, more hotels, more availability, a good base for daily tours. Positano, it's probably the prettiest of the towns of the Amalfi Coast, but it's very small. The hotels are always fully booked, very expensive, and the town usually is very congested. So I don't know, after a couple of days, you might want to get out of there. And this is where the locations that we touched. Now I'm just gonna go through some pictures of all the locations that we covered. So we went to Venice with all the islands and bridges. As you see, Venice, you've seen pictures of Venice probably everywhere. I read today somewhere that is considered the most beautiful city in the world, number one. And then we have Florence, which is in Tuscany, the capital of the Renaissance. We see the Uffizi Gallery. Food, we have a lot of excellent food in each city, in each location, and everywhere is different. Every city, every region has its own specialties. And of course, from Florence, you can explore the Tuscany region. There is a lot in Tuscany: Siena, Montepulciano, Montalcino, Pienza, and endless locations. And then Rome, of course. Now, remember, last year everybody was concerned about going to Rome because of the Jubilee, the crowds. While the Jubilee is over, the crowds, they are still there, thankfully, meaning that we have a lot of tourists in Rome, but everything is much easier. For example, our Vatican tour, this year it includes the St. Peter's Basilica again. Last year we didn't include it because it was too crowded. Something that I always recommend in Rome, the golf cart tour. That's the best way to see Rome. Here you have Lazio. From Rome, you can visit the surrounding area. We have a beautiful lake, Bracciano, the Castelli Romani, which are these villages located half an hour of Rome. And then remember, we went to the Amalfi Coast, passing by Naples. Now, Naples, it's another location that I highly recommend maybe staying one night or at least doing a half a day tour. It's a beautiful city. And then we have Sorrento, Capri, Amalfi Coast, and Positano, and these are the most known locations that everybody wants to see. That's the Vesuvius with Pompeii. Oh, and now this is another tour. Now we are going back in northern Italy, and this is another suggestion. Somebody that maybe never saw Piemonte or Milan. Okay, so this tour will offer you 2 nights in Milan, 3 nights in Torino, and 2 nights in Pollenzo, which is a small village in the Piedmont countryside. And here, this tour is based on food, wine. Piedmont is a region where there are a lot of wineries, so we include visits to wineries with wine tasting, lunch in the countryside. So it's really a beautiful experience. And this region is located up here. You see, this is Milan. So you would fly to Milan. There are a lot of flights to Milan. Turin is here, and the area Piemonte is the region, but this area here is called the Langhe, and this is where we would offer the 2 night stay with excursions in the countryside to see the villages and the castle. So here you have some pictures of Milan, the financial hub, the capital of the fashion, the European capital of fashion. Last Supper, of course, it's a famous highlight of Milan. And this is Turin, you see, surrounded by mountains. These are the Alps. So Turin is a historic city, beautiful city, used to be the capital of Italy. And then this is outside of Turin, what I mentioned before, the countryside, where you would stay a couple of nights and explore, or we give you a private driver to go and visit this area and stop at wineries, villages, and castles. Eh? Now we are going south. This is another tour that is available on the website. All these tours are on the website with pricing. Okay. Now this is Apulia. Apulia is a region in southern Italy. Became popular in the last few years. And here we offer a stay in the Masseria Monte Napoleone or similar. It is located in the Bari area. And from here you can do daily excursion and see the Trulli, Siostuni, Alberobello with the Trulli. We include here cooking classes, wine tastings, lunch, and you see this is the map of Apulia. So you would stay here in Bari, and then every day, one day you go up to Trani, Andria, you come here to another day Martina Franca and Alberobello, which is here. Another day you go down to Lecce, which is called the southern capital of Renaissance. So it's a beautiful city to see. And that's a week. And then in between we do some wine tastings and cooking classes. You're gonna visit Bari, the old town where they still make the orecchiette. You see these old ladies sitting, the nonnas, they were called the nonna. They are sitting outside of their homes. They make this orecchiette pasta. You can watch them making. You can make it with them. They teach you, and then you better buy a little bag of pasta. Otherwise, they are not too happy. But it's good pasta. You can make it home. And these are some of the locations that you can visit in Apulia. You see these whitewashed small villages. The sea is beautiful, blue water. These are the Trulli houses, so you can go visit. This is Alberobello. You can go visit there. And then we go down to Sicily. Sicily, it here is a suggested independent tour of 8 days, 7 nights. You stay 4 nights in Palermo, 3 nights in Taormina, and you explore from here. So you see, this is Palermo, so you stay here 4 nights. You can go to Marsala, Agrigento, Cefalù. Then you go to Taormina, and from Taormina you visit the Mount Etna. You can arrange here a really nice lunch with wine tasting on the Vulcano. We have local wineries. You can go to Syracuse, and then you fly out of Catania. Capital of Sicily is Palermo. Here you have some images of beautiful Palermo. This is Cefalù and Taormina, Syracuse. Sicily, it's really a unique and beautiful city. You need a week at least there to get a good idea. And if you have some extra time, you can go visit the islands, the Aeolian Islands. You can either go for the day or you can stay over one of these islands a couple of nights maybe. So in addition to our independent tours, I just showed you some samples, but we are like a factory. We create independent tours every day based on your client's requests. But you can also find on the website the pre-cruise packages. So these can be pre-cruise or post-cruise. And of course, they are fully customizable. So remember, in Rome, the port is located an hour and a half from Rome, the pier, in Civitavecchia. So we include, of course, a transfer to Civitavecchia. If you book a transfer somewhere else, make sure that the drivers, and especially if you have a minibus or a bus, they have the authorization to get inside the port and ride by the pier, because many times they don't have that authorization and they will drop your clients off at the gates of the port, and then your clients have to walk with their luggage to the pier. Okay, so if for any reason you don't book with us, I give you an advice to always ask this question: are you authorized to go at the ship by the pier? Venice, as you know, Venice, there are many ports. We have the port of Venice, actual port of Venice, where very few ships at this point duck. And then we have Ravenna or Trieste, and they are both located about an hour and a half, almost 2 hours away from Venice. So that involves a lot of logistic preparation and the cost, because these are distant transfers and they do have a cost. But we can offer both scenario. We can offer services. We also do private shore excursions, I remember, from every port. Something new this year, we have escorted tours, right? So we created this really nice and unique collection of escorted tours with guaranteed departures. Here you see the departures, we have one per month. This tour will go no matter how many people are on the tour. This is something new we are launching this year. So if you have clients that are interested in any of them, it will be like a semi-private tour because there are really few people on it. But once we are at full capacity, it will be maximum of 20 people. So they are still small groups. And the itineraries are really unique because you see here we have southern Italy with Amalfi Coast and Apulia. So really dive into southern Italy, really nice. And this is 15 days that will cover the northern lakes, Verona, Venice, Parma, Cinque Terre. You see the locations that you will cover with this tour. It's really, really nice. 15 days, you will see a lot of Italy, really nice hotel, unique locations, a small group. It's fully enjoyable, I promise you. So something really unique that you don't find with the other providers of escorted tours. And they're not that expensive. Prices are online. Then we have this, Sunlit Wonders of Amalfi Coast. This is just Amalfi Coast and Capri, 6 days. So maybe you can add then something else, maybe a stay in Rome, in Sicily, or anywhere else. Then we have Sicily. So this is a full 8 days tour of Sicily. We'll cover the main highlights of Sicily. And so Sicily, either you do it in private or escorted. Going on your own, it's not that enjoyable and a great idea. So please keep this into consideration. And then we have this beautiful experience on this sailing ship, maximum 12 people here. And this is unique. You remember before I mentioned the islands above Sicily. So this is Sicily. And these are the islands, Vulcano, Lipari. So you will be sailing through these islands, sleeping on the ships. The ship they have really nice cabins. There is a restaurant, but you will be getting off the islands, of course, exploring. Some meals are included, and this is just something that I don't know where else you can do a tour like that in the Mediterranean, blue water. You will sail through Vulcano, Stromboli. These are all active volcanoes. You might even see the lava coming out of the volcano. It's just a memorable experience. And
Hey, Guido, I'm
yes,
sorry to have to interrupt, but we're at the end of our time. And we had a hard stop at 2:30. So thank you very much for presenting. I will include Guido's email in my follow-up when I send out the recording. And then also, if you're watching the recording, please feel free to reach out to Guido with any questions, info@ciao.italytours.com. Otherwise, thank you very much, everyone, for attending today, and I hope you have a great rest of your weeks.
thank you very much. Bye, everybody.